If you want help healing the mother wound, I have one necessary perspective for you in today's video. This is a concept that's helped me not only heal the mother wound, but also in other areas of my life where I'm trying to learn something new and it feels daunting and overwhelming and, quite frankly, scary. I want you to think about healing the mother wound like you're learning a new language. Right now, you have your first language, and that's the thing that's automatic. The way that you speak, the way that you think, the way that you take action and interact with the world around you. That is pretty automatic right now. But what we're learning is a new way of thinking inside, of interacting with others, and of being in the world. So what does it take to learn a new language? Well, you need to study, you need to learn a few words at a time, you need to understand the patterns of that language, and then you have to actually apply it. You have to talk to people. You have to get yourself in uncomfortable situations that challenge you to speak the new language, to practice, and to ask questions as you go along. I am literally in that process because I moved from Canada to Mexico 4 years ago, and I'm learning Spanish. When I first got here, it was extremely challenging because I really didn't know very much. I knew how to say my name, where I was from, and that I like to eat apples, like pretty much what I learned on Duolingo in a few months. And I had to put myself in these uncomfortable scenarios where I was communicating with people and I felt like I was 5. I really struggled to know my first language, know in English what I wanted to communicate, but not be able to communicate it yet in Spanish. As I went through just, day after day, having those moments with people where I'm kind of deer in the headlights, I don't know what to say. Eventually, bit by bit, with exposure, it just kind of became ingrained in me. Now I know so much more Spanish. And I love that when I look back 4 years ago and I think, oh my gosh, I would walk into the fruit market and have no clue what people were talking about. Like maybe I'd hear hola or I'd hear the odd little word here and there. But now I walk in and I go, okay, I understand this conversation. For the most part, unless it's very complex and heady, I get at least what's going on. So when we're healing the mother wound, I want you to think about this is essentially what's happening. You're coming at your healing. You're coming at looking at your history, looking at your family trauma, looking at what your mom could or couldn't do, and understanding things, understanding how to regulate your nervous system, understanding how to really feel your feelings without tapping out or shaming yourself. There's a lot of new things that we are learning that are uncomfortable because they're not our defaults. They're not our first language with ourselves and with the world. So at first, as you're learning how to do new things and as you're learning how to be a new way, you are going to default to your first language. Maybe your first language is guilt. Maybe your first language is self-denial. Maybe your first language is prioritizing other people ahead of yourself constantly. So that first language is going to be the first thing that you do whenever you're in any given situation. From then, as you're learning how to be a new way, how to think differently, how to speak differently, how to set boundaries, how to do all these things, you have to translate. That's totally normal. Okay, when I was going through my healing journey and I was like in the thick of it, and I would hear this from other people who were also healing alongside me in my program that I was taking at the time, 5 years ago. And it's actually kind of wild to think, wow, that was only 5 years ago. I really have transformed so much, and it's great. So this isn't something that has to take you, the rest of your life to make big gains on. It really doesn't. It can be really frustrating to consciously know something. Okay, you understand it. You understand, I have to say no, or I have to put myself first. I get it, but I'm not living it. I'm not being it. It's a lot of work, and then I don't even really feel like I'm really doing it. It's just kind of surface level. That's okay. That's a normal part of becoming fluent in the language. Okay, becoming fluent in the way of being that person. All right, there's a transition phase where you're still translating. That's okay. It's totally normal. So you're going to automatically go to your default thoughts of, oh, I have to stop everything and pick up the phone and listen to my mom talk about her problems. Or I have to go to that family dinner. Everyone's just going to judge me if I don't show up, and I really don't want that to happen. Then you stop and you translate that into the new way of being. Okay. And you make different decisions from there. So you say, you know what? I don't have to pick up the phone right now. If it's an emergency, my mom will message me. I will return her call tomorrow. I'm going to prioritize my needs right now. Or I'm going to go to family dinner when it really feels good to me, when it feels juicy, not because I feel obligated to, or because I'm worried that people are going to judge me. They're going to judge me if they want to, whether I show up or not. I'm not going to judge me for it. I'm going to celebrate my win here, that I'm picking myself instead, and I'm breaking a lifelong habit. So once we get out of this translation phase, we enter into the fluency phase, right? So the more we've practiced something, the more we've shown up, we've spoken that language, we've thought those thoughts, then it becomes more automatic. You don't have to do the translation. Now, more of your default setting is, I don't show up to things that I really don't want to go to with my family. I don't automatically pick up the phone. It's not who I am anymore. And that's a really awesome place to be. And then even within that stage, you may have things that you still have to translate, and that's okay too. That's normal. I still have certain things that I just have to quickly remind myself of. Like, oh, that's not what I do anymore. That's not who I am anymore. No, I'm not doing that thing. Or yes, I am choosing this. And that's okay too. All right. There's maintenance in being the kind of person that doesn't fall back on old habits, because that's largely what you're stuck in right now, or what you feel like you're stuck in right now. They're habits, they're learned strategies on how to live. And now you're just going to be learning new ways of being, new ways of showing up for yourself, showing up with others, and prioritizing different things in your life. So thank you for joining in today's video. I hope that was a helpful insight for you. My name is Lori Desjardins, and I will catch you in the next episode of Healing with Lori.